Romania. For most people, it's the land of Dracula, dark castles, misty forests, and vampire legends. But behind this myth lies one of Europe's most fascinating destinations: medieval towns, breathtaking mountain landscapes, and a history of resistance and survival. Today, we're exploring Romania, and I promise you, this country will surprise you. Let's begin where the legends were born: Transylvania. The name alone conjures images of vampires and dark nights, but the reality is quite different, and honestly, far more interesting. Transylvania lies in the heart of Romania, surrounded by the Carpathian Mountains. What many people don't know, this region was shaped for centuries by German settlers, known as the Transylvanian Saxons. In the 12th century, the Hungarian king invited German colonists to settle and defend the land. They built towns, churches, and fortresses, creating a culture that's still visible today. Brașov is the gateway to Transylvania, and perhaps Romania's most beautiful city. The old town feels like a time capsule: Gothic churches, medieval defense towers, and cobblestone streets, all framed by the Carpathian Mountains. The city's landmark is the Black Church, one of the largest Gothic churches in Eastern Europe. It got its name after a devastating fire in 1689 that blackened its walls. Inside, you'll find one of the world's largest collections of Anatolian rugs, gifts from merchants who passed through the city. The main square of Brașov clearly shows the German influence: colourful townhouses, cozy cafes, and the old town hall in the center. Above it all, the Brașov sign sits on Tampa Mountain, Romania's version of the Hollywood sign. A cable car takes you to the top, and the views over the city and surrounding mountains are spectacular. Brașov was once one of the wealthiest trading cities in Central Europe. The Via Transilvanica ran through here, a major trade route between east and west. German craftsmen and merchants turned the city into an economic powerhouse. Even today, many street signs are bilingual, Romanian and German. Just 15 kilometers from Brașov, one of Europe's most impressive peasant fortresses sits on a rocky plateau, Râșnov Fortress. From a distance, you can already spot the Râșnov sign on the hillside, Romania's second Hollywood sign. The fortress was built in the 13th century by the Teutonic Knights, and later expanded by the Transylvanian Saxons. But unlike noble castles, Râșnov was a refuge for common people. When attackers came, Tatars, Ottomans, whoever, the peasants from surrounding villages fled behind these massive walls. Inside the fortress, a complete small town emerged: houses, chapels, schools, wells. People could hold out here for months. The 146-meter deep well, according to legend dug by Turkish prisoners, secured the water supply. The view from the fortress walls is spectacular: the red rooftops of Râșnov below, the endless Carpathian forests behind, and mountain peaks on the horizon. On clear days, you can see all the way to the Piatra Craiului range. It's one of those places where you hold your breath and just take it all in. An hour north of Brașov lies Sighișoara, one of Europe's best-preserved medieval towns and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is where it gets interesting for all you Dracula fans. In the yellow house on the main square, Vlad III was born in 1431, better known as Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Dracula. Yes, the real Dracula. More on him later. But Sighișoara is far more than just Dracula's birthplace. The entire old town is surrounded by medieval walls. The clock tower, built in the 14th century, dominates the skyline. Inside is a museum, and from the top you get breathtaking views over the colourful rooftops. Sighișoara is one of the few medieval fortified towns in the world that's still inhabited. People actually live within these centuries-old walls, not as a museum, but as a real, living community. In the evening, when the tourists have left and the lanterns come on, Walking through these alleys feels like a journey back to the 15th century. One of Romania's most unique cultural treasures is its fortified churches. The Transylvanian Saxons didn't build ordinary churches, they built fortresses. Churches surrounded by massive walls and towers where villagers could retreat during attacks. Over 150 of these fortified churches still exist today, 7 of them UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The most impressive is the fortified church of Birthplace. 3 rings of walls surround the Gothic church on a hilltop. The most famous treasure is the sacristy door, with a lock featuring 19 different locking points, a mechanical masterpiece from the 15th century. These fortified churches tell the story of a people who constantly had to fight for survival. Ottoman attacks, raids by Tatars and Mongols, the Transylvanian Saxons built their defenses right around the center of their faith. Let's get to the topic you're probably most interested in: Dracula and his castles. Perched on a rock, surrounded by dense forests and often shrouded in mist, Bran Castle is exactly what everyone imagines a vampire castle to look like. It's marketed as Dracula's castle and attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. But here's the truth: Vlad the Impaler probably never lived here. Maybe he visited once, maybe he was briefly held prisoner here, but that's it. The connection to Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula is even thinner. Stoker never visited Romania. He described his fictional castle based on pictures and travel reports, and Bran fit the image best. Still, Bran Castle is worth a visit, not because of Dracula, but because of its real history. The castle was built in the 14th century by the citizens of Brașov to defend against the Ottoman Empire. Later, it served as a customs station on the border between Transylvania and Wallachia. In the 20th century, it became the summer residence of the Romanian royal family. The architecture is impressive: winding corridors, narrow staircases, hidden rooms. Most of the furniture dates from Queen Marie's time, who lovingly decorated the castle. The inner courtyard and the views of the Carpathians are picturesque. If you want to see a castle that actually looks like Dracula should live there, you need to go to Hunedoara. Corvin Castle is one of the largest and best preserved Gothic castles in Eastern Europe, and it actually has a connection to Vlad the Impaler. The silhouette of Corvin Castle is breathtaking. Massive towers, a long wooden bridge over a deep moat, Gothic pointed arches, and dark dungeons. The castle was built in the 15th century by John Hunyadi, one of the most powerful military leaders of his time, who defeated the Ottomans multiple times. According to legend, Vlad the Impaler was imprisoned here for 7 years. Whether that's true is historically disputed, but the castle's atmosphere makes it completely believable. In the basement, there's a dungeon where allegedly 3 Turkish prisoners were forced to dig a well. They were promised freedom if they found water. After 15 years, they finally succeeded at 30 meters deep, only to discover they wouldn't be freed anyway. You can still see their desperate inscriptions on the well walls today. Corvin Castle has been used as a filming location for numerous movies and TV shows. It's what most people imagine a medieval castle should look like: dramatic, dark, unforgettable. Time to talk about the man behind the legend. Vlad III, born in 1431 in Sighișoara, was 3 times the ruler of Wallachia. He got his name Dracula from his father, Vlad Dracul, who was a member of the Order of the Dragon. Dracul means dragon, so Dracula means son of the dragon. His other nickname, the Impaler, he earned through his preferred method of execution. Vlad impaled his enemies, a gruesome practice where victims were placed on sharpened stakes and left to die slowly. After one battle, he allegedly executed 20,000 Ottoman prisoners this way. The attackers fled in horror when they saw the forest of the impaled. Was Vlad a monster? To the Ottomans and his enemies, definitely. To many Romanians, he's still a national hero today, a prince who defended his small country against the mighty Ottoman Empire. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. In brutal times, he used brutal methods. Bram Stoker knew these stories and used the name for his vampire novel. But his Count Dracula has little to do with the historical Vlad, except for the name and the region. Let's leave Transylvania and travel to the capital. Bucharest is a city of extremes, magnificent and decaying, modern and socialist, chaotic and charming. In the late 19th and early 20th century, Bucharest was called the Paris of the East. Elegant boulevards, Belle Époque architecture, French influences everywhere. That golden era ended with World War II and the rise of communism. The dominant building in the city, impossible to miss, is the Palace of the Parliament. It's the second largest administrative building in the world after the Pentagon. Dictator Nicolae Ceausescu had a fifth of the historic Old Town demolished to build this monstrosity. 70,000 workers worked around the clock. 1,000 rooms, 12 floors, 1 million cubic meters of marble. The palace is the legacy of megalomania. Ceausescu saw himself as a new Sun King and wanted a palace that would put Versailles to shame. The result is architecturally impressive and deeply disturbing at the same time, when you know how many people were forcibly relocated, how many historic buildings were destroyed. Bucharest's old town, called Lipscani, is the opposite. Narrow alleys, crumbling palaces next to hipster cafes, street art on every corner. A place you shouldn't miss is the Romanian Athenaeum, a neoclassical masterpiece and home of the Bucharest Philharmonic. The circular concert hall with its painted dome is considered one of the most beautiful buildings in the country and a symbol of Romanian culture. In the evening, head to Unirii Square. The Bucharest fountains offer a spectacular water and light show against the backdrop of the illuminated Palace of Parliament. It's Bucharest at its most beautiful, modern, vibrant, and surprisingly romantic. Romania has something that's become rare in Europe: true wilderness. The Carpathians sweep through the country in a wide arc and are home to the largest population of brown bears, wolves, and lynx in Europe outside of Russia. If you could only do one thing in Romania, drive the Transfăgărășan. Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear called it the best road in the world, and that's no exaggeration. The road winds for 90 kilometers through the Făgăraș Mountains, the highest part of the Romanian Carpathians. Dictator Ceausescu had it built in the 1970s as a military road. After the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia, he wanted a quick north-south connection in case of an invasion. The construction cost at least 40 workers their lives. Explosives were blasted into the mountains, tunnels carved through rock. The result is a road full of hairpin turns that climbs to 2,042 meters. Waterfalls cascade beside the roadway. Sheep sometimes block the way, and the views are simply overwhelming. The road is only open from June to October. The rest of the year it lies under meters of snow. At the highest point is Lake Balea, a glacial lake surrounded by mountain peaks. The Cele Târzi, or Turda Gorge, is a natural wonder in the Apuseni Mountains. Over millions of years, the Hăștate River carved a spectacular gorge into the limestone. The rock walls rise up to 300 meters high. A hiking trail leads through the entire gorge, partly over wooden walkways, partly over rocks, always along the river. The gorge is home to unique flora and fauna, including plants that exist only here. Hidden in the Anina Mountains lies one of the world's most unusual waterfalls. The Bigar waterfall doesn't pour over a cliff edge. Instead, it flows like a green curtain over a moss-covered dome. The water spreads into hundreds of small streams that glide like silk over the bright green moss. Some call it Europe's most beautiful waterfall. Whether that's true is a matter of taste, but one thing is certain, you've never seen anything like it. If you want to see what Romania looked like 100 years ago, go to Maramureș. This region in the north, near the Ukrainian border, has preserved its traditional way of life like almost nowhere else in Europe. Wooden houses with carved gates line the village streets. Farmers still work their fields with horse and cart. Women wear traditional costumes, not for tourists, but because it's the way they've always done it. The most famous attractions in Maramureș are the wooden churches, 8 of them UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The Church of Basana is perhaps the most beautiful, a wooden spire reaching 57 meters into the sky, built entirely without a single nail. The craftsmanship is breathtaking. Then there's the Merry Cemetery of Săpanța. Yes, you heard that right, a merry cemetery. The grave markers are painted in bright colors and show scenes from the lives of the deceased, plus humorous, sometimes ironic inscriptions. The cemetery shows a different approach to death, not dark and sad, but as part of life. Maramureș is like a journey back in time. It's the Romania that barely exists anymore in other parts of the country. Authentic, unspoiled, magical. To understand Romania, you have to understand its people. Romanians are a Latin island surrounded by Slavic peoples. Their language descends from Latin, a remnant of the Roman province of Dacia that existed here 2,000 years ago. Romanian is the only Romance language in Eastern Europe. If you speak Spanish, Italian, or French, you'll be surprised how much you understand. Romanian food is hearty, filling, and full of flavor. Sarmale, cabbage rolls stuffed with minced meat and rice, are the national dish. They're slow-cooked for hours and served on special occasions. Mici, or mititei, are small grilled meat rolls seasoned with garlic and cumin. No Romanian summer is complete without mici and a cold beer. Ciorba is a sour soup that's a staple in almost every Romanian household. Ciorba de burtă, tripe soup, might sound strange, but it's an experience. And then there's the cheese. Romanian sheep cheese, telemea or brânză, is creamy, tangy, and forms the base of many dishes. Romania is deeply Orthodox. Over 80% of the population belongs to the Romanian Orthodox Church. You can feel this religiosity everywhere, in the monasteries, the icons, the crosses by the roadside. Religion in Romania isn't just faith, it's cultural identity. And finally, a few things you probably didn't know about Romania. Romania is home to the bears. About 60% of all European brown bears live here, roughly 6,000 animals. In some mountain regions, it's completely normal to see bears by the roadside. The internet in Romania is faster than in Germany, France, or the UK. No joke. The country has one of the best internet infrastructures in the world, a legacy of the IT boom in the 2000s. In Salina Turda, an old salt mine, there's an entire amusement park, 120 meters underground. Ferris wheel, boat rides, mini-golf, all in a massive underground cavern. It looks like science fiction. And then there's perhaps the funniest event ever. Bran Castle once organized the world's largest blood donation drive. Yes, at Dracula's castle. Romanians definitely have a sense of humor. Romania is a country that defies easy categorization. It's Dracula and so much more. Medieval towns more beautiful than most in Western Europe. Mountains that are still truly wild. A history that speaks of resistance and survival, and people whose hospitality will overwhelm you. This is Romania, a land between myth and reality, between past and future, and it's waiting to be discovered by you. If you enjoyed this journey through Romania, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more travel content. Which place in Romania do you most want to visit? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.